Hello, everyone. Welcome to a new work week. It is Monday, and you are here for the Monday Minute. I am Rita Ernst. I am the author of Show Up Positive, out in stores this year, brand new book. And we are here to talk about how you can choose to show up positive in your workplace to make your workday exactly the way you need it to be for your health and well-being and happiness and ability to just contribute the most that you have in you each day. Because let's be honest, we spend so many waking hours at work. So why wouldn't we want that to be fun and fulfilling? And it's just been my observation since the pandemic that a lot of workplaces kind of feel a little sour these days, a little wah, wah. And I want to help you find that path back to having those positive, engaging, uplifting moments with your workmates so that you really enjoy being at work to the best of your ability, because most of us are not independently wealthy and we need to earn a living. So we might as well have fun while we are doing it. So I have my own copy of Show Up Positive in my hands. I hope that you have a copy too. Feel free to grab your copy and follow along with me. But what I'm doing in this series of live episodes is I'm showing you one of my intentions for my book, Show Up Positive, which is written in two parts. Part one is sort of the explanation and call to action around the idea of show up positive. But we're going to focus on part two, which contains 50 show up positive sparks. These are words that represent actions and attitudes about how you can bring positivity to work with you as a companion to help you have a better day. And so one of the ways that you can use part two of the book that we're going to look at now is simply to flip into the book. So I recommend that you pick a word for the week and that you practice showing up and exemplifying that word for an entire week. We don't want to rush through these things. We want to really feel them and take on the ones that match who we are. You can discard the ones that don't, but really have them become a core part of how you show up for yourself and for others. And so I've given you 50 options in the book. You don't have to do all 50, but most of us get at least 2 weeks of vacation. That's 2 weeks out of the year that we're not in the workplace. And the other 50 we are. So here I am. I'm flipping through the book and I'm just going to let it land wherever it lands. So not being super intentional. Now there is another choice, in which you can be very intentional. You can go to the table of contents. And even though my editor didn't like this because it made the table of contents super long, I included each of the 50 words in the table of contents. So you can read through the list and pick the one that speaks to you in the moment there. But just flipping through, I landed on page 178. The word is engagement. So our show up positive word of the week for Monday Minute Crew is engagement. Now, one of the things that I do in the book, and I'm just going to read you some excerpts and I'm helping you understand the book, because I really intended this to be a reference book that you go back to again and again and again. So I'm very selective these days about which books I bring into permanent residence in my home, because books take up a lot of space. And I am a huge supporter of the public library. So whenever I can, I take advantage of my local public library and I get my books there. However, this is one that I wanted you to want to have right at hand. I want it in your workplace nearby. That's one of the reasons it's a paper copy. It doesn't take up a lot of space. So I give you some synonyms. So the word is engagement, but other words that are similar to engagement: involvement, participation, activation. So this week we're going to think about engagement in this very holistic way. And we're going to think about, how can I show up with more involvement with my teammates, with the people around me, and with the work that I am doing? How can I show up with more participation, that saying yes to things and just trying out some new things, participating maybe even when it feels a little uncomfortable? And activation, how can I engagement activate some bigger outcomes for my team and maybe not just focused on me solely. So I give you some words in this page: being present, being active, being committed, being focused, and being involved. So there's 5 days in the week. You can do these in any order that you want, but I recommend that you practice with intention, showing up these 5 different ways that can be engagement. Being present. So to your work today, that counts. But more than just being there, being present is really being in actively engaged as your whole person in conversations and in interactions with people, not being distracted by your phone, not being distracted by other things. Being present is being focused. And so let's say today we're going to work on present. Then the next day, active, committed, focused, involved. So that makes this week easy. And I will be writing about these in my social media for the remainder of the week. So you can check out more inspiration around engagement and those 5 specific words on my LinkedIn or Instagram or Facebook feed if you want to know more about how I'm thinking about that. And then I give you some definitions and stuff. And I often include little tables like this because I find that's a way to give great information and share and save some space. So these are engaged versus passive mental states that I've outlined in this table. So I just want to share that with you. So if you're in an engaged mental state, the way that shows up is enthusiastic, expectant, cheerful, outgoing, interested, confident, and fun. Who doesn't want to hang out with a workmate that's being those things, being expectant and cheerful and confident and creating fun in the workplace? Like, that sounds good to me. I want workmates around me. I want team members that bring that into our team dynamic as we are producing or delivering services. If you are in a more passive mental state versus an engaged mental state, that might look like these things: indifferent, reluctant, dull, quiet, apathetic, anxious, and bored. Now think about those words. Like, I just really get the Debbie Downer vibes from these words. Like, when if you like that SNL skit, like that would be Debbie Downer in every conversation they show her in the break room with her coworkers, right? So let's work on the mental state, the engaged, all those positive words. And I'm not asking you to fake it till you make it, but I'm asking you to try them on for size. And here are some tips right from the book. Think about the last time you felt inspired and energized. Identify up to 2 things you could do immediately to reclaim those feelings. So if you are catching this on your lunch break and you're getting ready to go back into the fray to deliver whatever product or service that you are responsible for in your workplace, think about the last time you felt inspired and energized. Like, feel it in your body. And then think about how you could carry that back into the workplace. What's something that would allow you to carry that feeling back and let that start to show through? Don't go solo. Just like when you're starting a new commitment to exercise, find a buddy to do this with you. So suggest, if they're not listening alongside of you, that they give this a listen, and invite, when you have a friend, especially a coworker nearby, and you can kind of catch each other's eye and help remind one another to that you're focused on showing up in those positive, engaging ways. It can be very helpful. This is a really great one from therapy that I will share with all of you. Replace I have to. I have to go take care of this problem. I have to get this email completed and to the client in the next 20 minutes. Replace the words I have to with the words I get to. I get to communicate with the client and I want to get that done in the next 20 minutes. Or I get to go engage with the customer that is here and help them find the perfect product to take home with them. So just that little slight variation. There are a couple others here, but I'm going to stop there because I don't want to go too long today. So we are practicing the Show Up Positive Spark engagement in your book. If you bought the book and you have the paperback, it's page 178 if you want to mark it. This is our third week. I hope things are going really well. Please reach out to me, direct message or comment. Let me know how things are going. If you showed up to join me live today, thank you for being here. If you did not, if you're catching this in the replay, let me know you were here, hashtag replay. And in the comments, I give you again, and it's in the description as well, the hot link immediately following this, 1 o'clock Eastern time. I'm jumping on Zoom to have a more interactive conversation with anybody that wants to talk about this week's Show Up Positive Spark, last week's Show Up Positive Spark, or anything else related to Show Up Positive. So if you have a few minutes and you want to catch up with me directly, I'm making myself available, and you will find all the details in the description for this, as well as in the comments. The meeting ID 885-7539-4287. And the password is positive, or just copy the link and drop it directly into your browser. And I'm going to be doing that every Monday for a while, immediately following the show, as an opportunity for me to hear more feedback and to give more of myself to those of you that are supporting me by participating. So I'm a little over time. I'm going to go now. Thank you for joining me. I hope you have a tremendous week this week and have a lot of fun practicing engagement. I'll see you next Monday. Bye.